Hello, it's me, Jess. Welcome to my channel. And today I thought we could do our lovely soul focus reading for May 2021. The soul focus reading is just where we take a look at whatever your soul is focusing on through the physicality and the mundanities of your life, just to kind of help give you a little bit more insight on what really is going on from that like spirit angle. So, with that being said, I don't really have much else to say. I've got 3 piles here, pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. I will put the picture up for you and I'll see you at your reading. All right, pile number 2. What is your soul focus for May? Okay, so this is pretty clear that your soul wants to focus on letting go of control a little bit, letting loose a little bit, being a little bit more foolish, being a little bit more impulsive, and trusting that. The Fool is all about that trust energy, starting on a new adventure, but being in that state, because the Fool state to me is like very much being in the flow and trusting that flow. That is divine, and I'm pretty sure. Yeah, patience. I accept that everything happens in divine order. So it's like being in that flow is just trusting that spirit is guiding you, trusting your guides. There's actually strong guide energy here. And I feel like your guide team does just want me to tell you. You've got the temperance energy here with this angel. And you've the Fool also has this dog that is supposed to represent our guidance system, our intuition system that can happen actually very impulsively. So your soul focus is honestly like letting all the dust settle in your mind, and quieting that noise down so that you can hear the strong intuition. There's something about timing that's coming through here as well too. And holding back, because some of you guys, you might be chomping at the bit because it feels like you left a cycle behind you. The Temperance card comes after the Death card. So I feel like you have had some kind of major transformation, major death energy where you decided, I don't want to be in the 4 of Pentacles state anymore. Because some of you guys, with 2 kings here, you're legitimately in a position of power, of authority. Maybe you do have some stability and some excess, but it's like, it's hard for me to tell because again, you are in this 4 of Pentacles energy, and the 4 of Pentacles can be kind of, it's known as the miser card, you know, where you're holding on to things so tightly. You're holding on to stability, out of fear, out of like a lack mentality. And it's possible to have money and to be still miserly. It's actually a trope. Like that's actually a trope in movies. But what I'm getting is that, I'm getting that quote that's like, and the day came where the risk to bloom was less than the risk to remain in a tight little bud. And I feel like you have kind of gotten to that place. And it's almost like I'm hearing, like, I know the right answer. And so it's like you want to just jump right into whatever this is. But your soul focus actually wants you to hang back here for just a second and pause and have that breath before a new cycle begins, because your soul wants to start this new cycle here, but it wants to start it from a new place, from a new energy where it's trust and you're in flow state. Does that make sense? I hope that made sense. I'm not sure that it did, but yeah, here in the past I feel like maybe some of you feel like you have been in this position of power or authority, but you're not supposed to rock the boat in some kind of way. I feel like you've wanted to leave something behind and you want to trust. Maybe because this is Aquarius energy, the Fool. And Aquarius can be our freak flag energy. What's funny is that Aquarius rules the 11th house of our gains, like our own financial gains. But it feels like it's a risk, you know? The Fool always kind of has a risk, like, you got to trust. You got to, you got to, I'm just seeing, the movie Elf, when he like tries to step on that iceberg and it starts to move away from him a little bit, moving onto that uncertain ground. So I feel like, yeah, some of you guys, it's like you remain tight in a bud. You want to hang on to some kind of traditional life, some kind of stability. And some of you, you have some regret here over the way that you've used your position of power, because some of you feel like maybe it's been a little bit more ornamental, and you want to be of service more to people than you have been in the past. But this to me feels like taking some kind of new creative venture, honestly. And maybe you feel like you have to take a step down in order to do that, which isn't uncommon, you know? Maybe you have to make less money. You're going from the King of Cups to the Page of Cups, and in order to do that. But your soul wants you to get into this flow state, into trusting your intuition, because there is something here about timing and about knowing the right moves to make and trusting, because you're gonna make it through the Page of Cups phase if you can learn how to trust spirit, you know? And also just being fully in the moment. The Fool to me also says being non-attached to outcomes. And I don't know about you, but I know whenever I start something, I'm like, I always do better with it if I'm just not attached to the outcome and I let go of control. Yeah, so that's a big thing here. And some of you feel like maybe you've wasted time or something like that. Okay, so another thing that I want to say is, this is all about wish fulfillment, but there's an interesting energy here where you're actually really confident in your skills. Whatever this is, you are very confident in it with the King of Pentacles. This is always a very, very skillful energy to me. If you think about the earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, they're very skillful energies, and they're there for the long term, and they're there to they have done the repetitive stuff. So it's weird because this fear of moving forward, I don't think it comes from a place of like a lack of skill. I think it comes from this fire energy. I think it's specifically the Five of Wands energy that puts you in this state here of the Four of Pentacles. And I want to say it's the 4 Fs. So you have an F for every pentacle. That actually might forever change the way that I look at this card. But the 4 Fs are fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. So in the past, those are just kind of defensive states, defensive mechanisms that you can kind of get put in. And I think what puts you in that more defensive state, in whatever way that shows up for you. Fight, flight, freeze. You guys might freeze. But what puts you here in this state is actually this Five of Wands energy. And I feel like it's competition, and but it's fire sign energy. And I feel like your soul is actually agreeing with you. It's saying, don't get involved in that. Because some of you guys, that's what you're like chomping at the bit to get involved. You're like, no, I'm not going to remain. You're so determined not to remain in the Four of Pentacles states that you're just going to go for it. You're just going to throw yourself into the Five of Wands. But what your soul focus is trying to tell you is actually, if you take a breath, you take a pause to balance out your energies, while after you've made this decision, after you've made this transition, you allow your energy to balance out. And I'm also hearing one full breath is a meditation. So even if you take one full breath before this, what you're going to realize is this is actually an asset for you. This is how you work best. Some of you might have Mars in Aquarius. You might have Mars in an earth sign. You might have Mars conjunct Saturn, where it actually behooves you and you get what you want by waiting. What it wants you to change is, instead of waiting and then being in your mind about all your regrets, like, oh, I really wish I could get in there and rumble with those people. I really wish I could put my idea out there. Instead, it's saying, actually, you have a better perspective from this. Let them waste their energy duking it out, fighting it out. You're going to notice an opening. You're going to notice an opening because you're different. You really are different than this energy. Another thing that I feel like intimidates you about this energy, because it's fire sign, right? And fire sign, it's like they're very attractive, very charismatic. They're really good with their words. They're very dynamic in some kind of way. And it's not that you're not, because I'm fond of saying earth sign people actually have a lot of fire in them, because the fire planets are all in earth signs. The sun and Mars are both nestled in all the earth signs. So, it's not like I said, you're confident in your skill set, but this isn't the King or Queen of Wands. You know, these are the Five of Wands. These are people that are fire people that are striving to develop their fire energy. So it's kind of, for the purpose of this reading, it's like lower vibrational fire energy. And the thing with that is that sometimes the best man doesn't always win. It's like the flashiest energy that can win, but it's not necessarily somebody who can back it up with the skills. You can back it up with the skills, and your soul is saying, yes, you're not wrong about that. So how are we going to approach this differently with the Fool energy? And that's going to become clear if you're not attached to outcome, if you're not focused on the competition. You see what I'm trying to say? Don't focus on the competition. This doesn't have to be your next step where you get in there and rumble. And I truly am, because you have a lot of recognition energy coming through here with the Fool and with the World. This to me looks like YouTube. You know what I mean? Something like that, where it's like, if you're trying to fight to get, say you're trying to fight to get signed for a modeling agency. I know most of us are not out here trying to do that, but say that's like, let's just use that as an example. You could fight to get noticed by a modeling agency, or there could be some weird way that you take your own picture and you put it in an artsy magazine or something. And you notice that because you were just alert and you were in the flow, because you're manifesting, pile number one. That's what this Fool energy is about, is just trusting this, you know? There could be a different and unique way with Aquarius energy that you could put yourself out there, especially on the internet, you know? Because what's going to come out of this is the World card. And can we just acknowledge that you've got the Fool and the World here, which is beginning and end of the major arcana. So this is strong energy, and they're both Saturn. So what's going to come out of this is the World card, some kind of recognition for a skill set, some kind of victory, some kind of success. And what's standing out to me here is it looks like there's an air pocket around you. You're not really meant to get in here. Like, I think you don't like this energy. You're not built to compete in that energy. It's not where you're going to shine. You're strong, pile number one. You are. You just have to know how to showcase yourself different. Does that make sense? But you need air around you, because I'm getting, if you jump in here, you're getting an elbow to the eye, you're getting an elbow to the abdomen, you know, and it puts you on the same level as these people, and you're not. You are more developed. So anyways, like, this is all about wish fulfillment, but this is also about reaping the harvest, reaping what you've sown. You've sown it, pile number one. For a lot of you guys, like, you have been building some kind of skill set back here. You've just been holding yourself back out of fear. And maybe because you could, down here, the King of Pentacles is often a husband and a father, somebody who has a lot of responsibilities. And with the Five of Pentacles, this is somebody who's nurturing other people. So you have some kind of, you maybe help people who are less fortunate than you. And that could be because you are the provider energy in your family, or you are a boss. Some of you guys, like, maybe you're having to, like, lay people off or something, or let people down, and there's, like, a lot of guilt and a lot of regret, or but you're seeing, like, a lot of suffering. You're seeing a lot of people who are worse off than you, and it's like you are actually a very comforting presence for people, even if you don't know it. It's like you have a very, I can even feel it through these cards, like, you have a very level presence. I know I said that, my voice was shaky, and I feel like that sums up your energy, because on the outside you look very calm, cool, and collected. On the inside you're like, you're not so much, you know, not all the time. This is interesting. The five, okay, well, first of all, you've got 3 fives here, so conflict and loss. Oh wait, before, I'm getting something, hold on, before this, because this is interesting too. This is wild. There are a lot of readers, this is kind of up for debate, but there are a lot of readers who say that the King of Pentacles is like, okay, it's the end of the minor arcana, and then it goes to the major arcana at the Fool. So this is like, this is the transition point. And the minor arcana is all about, like, worldly things, those little worldly things. And you have achieved a lot in, like, in the world, in the minor arcana, right? This, if you're a masculine energy, I just want to say job well done, because this is a masculine energy ready to embark on the spiritual path. This is the beast from Beauty and the Beast. We have the energy of the beast becoming man. And the same, if you're on the feminine path, like, yeah, more power to you as well. It's just this, maybe you do want to watch Claire Nakti's video on, I think it's actually called The Feminine Path, but she talks a lot about the masculine path too, but she uses Beauty and the Beast story as an example. But this looks to be somebody who has a lot of wealth, has a lot of abundance, has a lot of stability, and wants to use that for humanitarian purposes or artistic purposes. And some of you might want to be like a patron of the arts in some way, like a theater company, or you want to help people achieve their dreams. And just as someone who benefits, like when people patronize, like me on Patreon, that it's like, maybe you're not changing the world, but you're changing my world, you know, and that's like a big deal. And enough of us do that for each other. Like, that's how you change the world. That's how you vote for the kind of world that you want to be in. But you look like you're in a position to do more than just give somebody $5 every month. You know what I mean? And maybe that's what you want to do. Okay, so another thing that's coming through is maybe you guys need like a little bit of a staycation or a little bit of a vacation before you take this next step, because it really does look like you're at the end of one cycle and you're going to start another cycle, and it looks like you're chomping at the bit to do it, but I feel like you're not going to regret it if you take a moment of pause, you know, even if it's you in your backyard, you know, drinking an iced tea, that's your staycation, whatever, you know, and also more people, like it is getting easier to travel again. So maybe some of you will be in a position to travel in the future safely. And it's almost like if you do that, if you take a trip, especially like it looks like you want to do something artistic, but that you've got to start at this Page of Cups energy, and it's maybe not going to be as fulfilling to you on the material level. That's what your soul's trying to say to you, is like, can you see yourself in process, pile number one? Because if you don't allow the external because you might not get a lot of feedback at the beginning that's positive. You might have to build it up. And like, will that be okay? You know, are you going to have like that staying power to make it up to the King of Cups? You know, it's telling you to behave like you're the King of Cups. And the King of Cups usually is someone who is the leader of a spiritual or creative organization, because doing that, you're going to attract an offer with the Ace of Cups. You're manifesting. This is all about your vibration that's like trying to come in here. Yeah. So it's telling you like it might be a longer road than you're planning on, even though you're in this really excited energy and it's really carrying you through. It just wants you to get in a good state here. Let me just, the Page of Cups. What's the Page of Cups? Yeah, criticism and judgment is coming out. Look, yeah, Page of Cups and the Ten of Cups. Interesting. Because some of you guys, maybe you want to take a class and you're noticing that a lot of other people are very talented or something like that. It's like this competition when you compare yourself to other people. Wow, Page of Pentacles. It's wanting you to build it up. That's what I'm getting. Like, that's what your soul is trying to say. It's like this, and I feel like it has the potential to bring you a lot of happiness. Yeah, and a lot of recognition. It's there. The potential is there for you. It really is. It just not might happen the way that you think. Look at all these pages. So maybe you guys want to learn something. Yeah, like, I don't know. There is something here about having a mentor and learning something. And, you know, the star, it's more Aquarius energy. That's really what I'm getting. It's like you might have, you know, all these artists have stories of people being like, it's crap. No, I don't want to have you in a movie ever. And then they're like Morgan Freeman, you know? So I don't know why I said that, because he's had like a career that spanned like so many decades, and he literally plays God in like every film that he's in. You know what I mean? So, what is pile number one's soul focus? I just saw the fourth and final five of the deck. Rest. Because, And some of you guys, it's like you are just, you're scared to put something out there because you don't want negative feedback, but it's okay. You're going to get negative feedback. I get negative feedback every day. Look at me. I'm fine. I'm just kidding. Look at this. Emperor energy. But what about it? I feel like you are the Emperor. Yeah, I just said, what does the Emperor want? The Emperor wants to let go of wants to let go. Because it's not working anymore. But there's so much anxiety. So the anxiety is the block. The anxiety is in the way. So your soul focus is to get calm, and not in an ornamental way. I'm saying this as someone who has been in a lot of spiritual communities in my day. And I'm being honest, like, I've sat through many a meditation class and just like pretended. And I know that you don't have to be like perfectly zenned out and everything to be meditating, but I totally am just like, keep your back straight, like close your eyes, hum a little bit, you know, like just fit in, you know? And that's really not the point of meditation. So it's like giving yourself permission to be a little foolish. I feel like, is that full energy? Yeah, some of you, it's just trusting that you want, whatever it is that you want to walk away from, it's okay for you to walk away from it. Even though, what are you afraid of? What is this fear that's here? There's something that's like fearful. The devil. I feel like it's monetary success. Being financially unstable. Maybe some of you are married. Some of you, it's like you have responsibilities. You have a weight on your shoulder. You have business responsibilities, marriage responsibilities. Yeah, you're afraid of some kind of betrayal, abandonment, and some kind of big swing in your fate. But, you know, like I said, I've been in a lot of these spiritual communities. If you being your authentic self means certain things fall away from you, then that's maybe part of the process. And can you make peace with that? Because otherwise you're just living a lie. So maybe that's like another obstacle. See, you know what? When we're in the thick of things, our decisions make sense. You know what I mean? When it's like, well, of course I can't. But what you realize is like, you're not really being your authentic self. You're not taking the risks that you want to take. You're not moving your life in the direction that you want to move it in. So then all the people that you're around, all of that is like this other false person. Whereas like, if it was a choose your own adventure story and you opened the book and you went to page 37 instead of page 49, then you would have met other people. You would have, you know what I mean? It's like that. So maybe certain things do need to fall away in order for you to live the life that you want. But, and I'm hearing Lindsay Lohan from Mean Girls where she was like, when you get bit by a snake, you need to suck the poison out, which actually is really bad advice. You're not supposed to do that. But you know what I'm saying? Where it's like, if you've built something up and it was in the wrong direction, you've got to start to dismantle it, so that you can start over, so that things can flourish. And that could be the delay that you're seeing here, is like, you've got to bring it back down to zero. There's another, I think it's a Buddhist phrase where it says, to become something else first, you must become nothing. So maybe you're afraid of becoming nothing because you're the farthest thing from nothing, is what it looks like in these cards. And maybe that will actually reconnect you with a little bit of authenticity, which will help you in whatever creative, I don't know why I said it like that, endeavor that you're trying to instead of holding it in. Don't hold it in. Also, if some of you guys are afraid of a relationship, look at this. You've got the King and the Queen of Cups up here. I think there's somebody who could come in that's like very emotionally fulfilling. You could even work together on creative projects. You could have a tiny little Ace of Cups together. I don't really know what you're looking for, but yeah, I'm seeing somebody who wants to take a leap of faith. You want your luck to change, but you want it to change for the better, and your soul wants to help get you in position to do that. And the first step is like getting your insides right. So that's what I have for you guys, pile number 1. I know it was like a really long message, and maybe it was a little preachy. I don't really even know, but wait, let me just get the energy that you can lean into and the energy that you can lean away from, and then we'll call it good. Oh, yeah, this pile, like, you just feel like you have to be strong all the time. You don't feel like you can be a little kid. You don't feel like you can be foolish or that you can mess up. It's like, because people don't see you that way, but you know, that's all whatever. Hermes, communication, talking with other people, getting yourself involved in new groups where maybe you don't have to be the leader. You don't have to be the strong one. Use a fake name. That's what I did when I started my YouTube channel. Use your fake name, and that way it gives you, and I'm thinking about the mask card in that archetypes deck that I have, where it's like, Sometimes wearing a mask can help your more authentic self come out. I'm also getting from Parks and Rec, Ron Swanson, you know how he plays the saxophone and he does it under a fake name, like at that club, and he like has his whole other life on the side. So maybe there's something like that where you could do. So anyways, and let whatever crumbles from that crumble, because you're trying too hard. Like too much of your energy is like leaving you. It's like outside of you. So that's what I have for you guys. Pile number 1. If that resonated, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Bye guys. Okay, pile number 2. This is actually looking very similar to pile number 1. So I don't know if you guys want to go check that one out. It's almost like we're picking up where pile number 1 left off. Because there's a sense here that your soul's focus is actually getting you to a place where you feel confident in making some kind of change in the material world in order to go after a dream that you have here with the star card. And for a lot of you guys, this could have to do with being somebody who actually is really, really creative. And some of you guys, it's like you feel like the underdog in some kind of a situation for whatever reason. You just feel like you don't have all the cards stacked in your favor. You're moving away from a time where you are the emperor. So maybe you've built yourself up here in some way, like in a career, and you're looking to make a career change into something that you've been wanting to do, something that is really, really creative, that could be out in the public eye. And maybe you are even wanting to start like to compete a little bit for this, but you know that maybe you're going to have to take some lickings here. So maybe you take steps towards this, but then it kind of burns out. You get really worked up about it and then it kind of burns out. But your soul wants, like your soul focus wants you to take a small step. Like the Ace of Pentacles is the beginning of the journey in the realm of Pentacles. This is something that is here for the long haul, something that's going to build up slowly over time. Pentacles is something that moves slowly. So it's saying whatever small step that you can take. And for some of you guys, it's not even like you're letting go of your old life or your old persona or your old self quite yet. And I was mentioning this at the end of pile number 1. I was using the example of Parks and Rec and Ron Swanson, who like leads the Parks and Rec department in that show. And he's like, I can't think of the name, but he uses a fake name so that he can play a saxophone. So he's like this, he has like this kind of cult following of people who like his saxophone music, and he sells a bunch of CDs on the side. And it's kind of embarrassing, but like he does it and it fulfills him, but he uses a fake name and he keeps those two lives kind of separate, you know? So even if it's something like that, and I can use myself as an example because when I started my YouTube channel, I was really scared to fail. I also was just curious, you know, I was just kind of putting it out there. So, you know, I used a moniker, and then when it got big, it felt more important for me to like own this part of myself, and I put my name to it. So it's like, it's saying you can do something like that. And you have the change card here. I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. So it wants you to do something in the material world here, you know? You're getting a huge green light. And this also is it's like, there is something here about manifesting. It's the same for pile number 1, but with this pile, it's more like you can't manifest more stuff to happen in the material world until you take this next step. You know, you've gone as far as you can go, and And it's like it is a transition point. It is taking this next step. What else is interesting to me is you got the Four of Pentacles here, like for the future, where it was in the past position in pile number 1. And I call the Four of Pentacles the Emperor wannabe. So to me, it's like I'm almost seeing this as like you taking this small step. Some of you want to, like, I'm getting a strong patronizing energy, not in like a negative way, but like you want to give somebody some money who is starting out in their creative endeavor. That's a great idea. If you want to do that, it's going to help build up your good karmas, first of all. Some of you also, this is maybe a side message, I don't know. Some of you want to send a message to somebody who is like very guarded and very protective. And that could be a small step here in the material world, but because you're very, maybe you're intimidating, but maybe it could be a little prideful. I don't know. So you could want to offer somebody something, and that could be like just the first step. And honestly, this person's really closed off. So maybe they answer, maybe they don't. Maybe this is the person from the World card. I don't know. It's something that you really want to do. And if this isn't a person, then it's an opportunity. And maybe this is a class that you need to sign up for. You need to fill out the form and you need to give the money, to be able to sign up for whatever class this is. Because it could be it could be sealed off or something. And I feel like in the future, you could be taking this step and not telling anyone about it. You could be taking a class, you could be signed up for a conference and not tell anyone about it. You're keeping it really close to your chest until that way you have the freedom to kind of explore this. But it feels like a small step on a longer journey for you with the Star card. And what's going to come out of this is options. And for some of you guys, if this is trying to get out in the public eye, this is a Neptune card, and Neptune does rule over cameras. So there are going to be options, and some of you guys are going to be meeting a bunch of different people. You're going to see whatever this is that you want to see manifested for yourself in many different forms. And I feel like it's just going to unfold. This is all about unfolding the next layer of manifestation for you, so you can decide like more how you want to go with things. And actually, let's skip ahead to your advice really quick, because this is all about integration. So some of you are working on, maybe this is a partnership, because some of you do want to reach out to someone who's a bit closed off, and maybe they are in the spotlight in some way, but there's a ton of restriction energy. This person could be getting like attention. This could be someone you admire or look up to for their craft. So maybe they are teaching a class or something. That could be. But you want a partnership, but you've got to move forward, and you can. It's saying this, like you can really move forward with this, with the Chariot. What's interesting is, I don't know why I want to say this, but this woman represents the woman in the Strength card, Leo energy, strength energy, flashy energy, possibly being leadership, possibly being out in the public eye. And this is the Fool energy, which came out in pile number 1, trusting, letting go, Aquarius. So some of you guys, it's telling you to let your feminine side take the lead. Because you're very developed in your masculine side. The Emperor is the combination of all four kings, and that's something that you're working on leaving behind. Or it's not leaving behind, but moving from this platform, moving away from. And honestly, you might have to leave this behind to start new. Or like it's going to feel like you live in two different worlds, like, okay, well, on Monday you're an accountant and that's what you do. And then, Monday night you're playing the saxophone in the jazz club for all the 40-year-old single moms, who are like salivating over you and buying all your merch, or like whatever that looks like for you. This is heavy integration energy though, integrating your masculine and feminine sides. Some of you see your masculine or feminine side projected outside of you in the form of another person. And you want to send that person a message, and it's telling you to do that. And it's telling you to move forward. Like why? The why is with the Chariot. You are going to move forward in confidence. The Chariot is also about being very decisive, making decisions based on your own values and your value system. That is Venus energy. Venus rules how you make your own money. It rules self-esteem. So this really could take off. There could be some kind of partnership. But if it's not, this is you integrating two sides of yourself and moving forward. Some of you guys, you just want to make a clean split with something altogether with the Queen of Swords. You want to know the future. You want to know like the clear path ahead of you. And I feel your soul saying you already know. You already know what the path is. You've just got to do it. Once you do that, the road is going to open up and unfold. Then you got this perseverance energy. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. You can. It's going to take perseverance. That's also hinted at here with the star. This is the journey of 1,000 steps, baby. And it starts with a single step. And that's what your soul is trying to focus on. Like, don't focus on the big picture. Don't think about the whole thing all at one time. All you have to take is this little step, and then that little step, and then that little step. And feel free to protect it. Like, people don't need to know what you're doing all the time, you know? So feel free to, like, keep it close to your chest, you know, and to feel like you have a sense of security in that. And some of you guys are going to be reevaluating your relationship to money. So you might be downsizing your house. You might be getting a more fuel efficient car or something. You're thinking you're making these little materialist sacrifices so that you can put your energy into the things you want, and you're spending less time and energy maintaining material things. So that it's almost like, yeah, you're trimming your outer leaves, so all that energy is going to shoot back down into your roots. Abundance. I am a limitless being, and I can manifest whatever I desire into this physical reality. Into this physical reality. Your soul is sitting here saying, yes, we're here. We're ready. We're on the precipice, you know? For some of you, this is a fake it till you make it kind of a thing. Yeah, discipline. I can accomplish anything I set my mind to. So, you guys are showing up as the 10 of Pentacles. Very stable energy. Very, very stable. But it's like you're hearing a calling. And it's like maybe you're not satisfied in this. It feels kind of dead. You're hearing a calling. What is this that you want to cut ties from? I feel like it's your responsibility. Okay, so a million cards came out, but the one on top is the Empress. And we've got the Emperor and the Empress. So some of you guys, it could be a relationship, but let's just try to get one card. Look. Really wanting to change this pile. Okay, I don't know quite what I'm getting from this yet, but this looks like, you know how people used to bring the king like their best chicken? You know? They'd be like, this is my favorite hen. And it's like, wow, thanks. Maybe it's working to impress people. Okay. I don't know, it's like working for something that you're seeing is just not enough. You're afraid of it too. Some of you guys really want to tell people what you think. So the soul focus for pile number 2 in the month of May is taking that first step in the material world, whatever it is, even if it's just signing up for a class, you know, and you don't have to tell anyone that you're doing it. Some of you guys, this is options for financing or something. Like you're going to get your first customer or something. You're going to get that book deal. You're going to get whatever this is, like you're going to get it. Okay, but here, you could be ending something here in silence, or you're suffering in silence or something, but then what's going to come out of this is some kind of success and some kind of mastery. Some of you really want to leave like a bad relationship situation. And you know what I think this is saying is that this, whatever this little thing is, it seems like such a small thing, but it's going to give you the confidence and the perspective to see that in an entirely new light. And you are going to move on from it. You're going to grow in your confidence. Yeah, some of you guys really do need to reach out to somebody. You might be surprised. This looks like has a lot of potential, whatever this is. So, okay, let's get the energy that you can move towards and the energy that you can move away from. Renewal. What's interesting is this came out first, but I want to put it like this. So I'm going to do that. Gaia, creation, compassion. Okay, so Hecate, I love Hecate. She's like one of my favorite goddesses. She only rewards people that do their shadow work, that do the deep diving. But I want to put these energies side by side. So I feel like it's telling you to go after whatever this is that you want. You don't have to overthink it, right? You really don't. Pleasure for pleasure's sake is what Katesh is all about. And whenever you indulge in pleasure and joy, it refreshes everything that you do. And tell me why I'm hearing cerebral spinal fluid. So, like in a lot of the esoteric teachings, like the story of Jesus, the story of everything is the story of cerebral spinal fluid moving through your body. And actually there's a whole, like, people who read the Bible in a very esoteric way, like Bethlehem is a certain place in the brain. And like, you know, it's really talking about like your own human body and the awakening of the chakras and everything there. So, and there's something about just like refreshing something. I don't really know why I got that. Maybe that means something to you. But, with Hecate, with this illumination, I kind of feel like it's moving away from, it's almost saying you know what it is that you need to do. You don't need to do any more deep diving. Just go after whatever feels good and trust that that is a good thing. Because this is actually your fear getting in the way. So let me just clarify this one more time, because I wasn't too sure about these cards. You don't need to find the perfect key. I knew it. Renewal. Okay. Yeah, just like renewal. Having a new beginning, having a new life. You know, aces can be about that. And stepping out of the flow. This is all about you interrupting your flow. And I'm hearing girl interrupted. So maybe that's a thing. Maybe someone will teach you where your aorta is. Is that the right movie? Angelina Jolie. I'm going to jam this in my aorta. Okay, anyways. Yeah, that's what I'm really getting for you guys. Maybe you want to watch pile number 1, but I feel like I'm not getting much more than that. It's just wanting you to trust yourself, and it wants you to take that first little bitty baby step, and I feel like the rest is just going to unfold from there. So that's what I have for you guys. If it resonated, please like, comment, and subscribe. Bye. Okay, pile number 3. Actually, let's go ahead and start here. I was going to clarify some things because I'm a little confused. What I'm getting is very, very specific. So only take what resonates, because you also have this indecision energy. I use my intuition in all aspects of life. So I feel like you have an intuition that is really trying to come through here. But whatever this is, it's like there is a lot maybe of something very, like your life is very much focused on the material level right now. And so it could be hard to hear this. So the base of this, I'm getting a very specific scenario, and so I want to explain that, because I feel like even just as a metaphor, it's going to help you get the message more than anything. But I do just want to say the gist of this is to focus on balance and harmony. You know, even if you feel like you've been wronged in a situation here, it's like it's telling you not to get wrapped up into some kind of power games. And to focus on the long term, to play like the long game in whatever this is, and to focus on harmony and relationships in the situation. That's really what I'm getting. You have forgiveness here. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. And then you also have relationships. I'm attracted to those people who serve my higher good. That's really what I'm getting with the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles. It's like focus on relationships, allow that to, and the harmony in those relationships, and allow that to be the guiding light, right? With friendship, I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason, but we also have adversity here. I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. Guilt. I release any beliefs that no longer assist in my soul's growth. Okay, so like I'm getting, like I said, some of you guys, you could have moved. This could be a job situation. But I feel like you have made some kind of move on the physical here in the past. Maybe that has to do with your job situation. Maybe it has to do with a family situation. But for a lot of you guys, this looks to me like somebody who has decided to get a divorce, you know, or to break up a situation. And it probably does involve a family or like a lot more people with the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles. So, and I'm getting, because we've got this energy down here with the World and the Judgment card, heavy hitting energy. This is Saturn, Pluto. That is a really, really intense conjunction of two planets that both are about control and about power. So one person could be trying to throw up obstacles while the other person is just trying to leave the situation. You know, they're trying to transform the situation, and they could be even playing subtle power games, you know, back. So, and this could be a situation where, you know, somebody's got a house and somebody left, somebody moved out. Or all of that is like trying to happen. But like the thing about Saturn Pluto is that usually this conjunction happens in a delay, in the wake, in like a delayed wake to a very catastrophic event or happening. And that's what I feel like here. So it feels like a situation kind of blew up here in the past. And in the wake of that, we have this like weird, contentious, like power dynamic-y relationship here. And I'm getting, you know, the Tower card, the Star card follows the Tower. But this Saturn Pluto energy does feel like a Tower moment here in the situation. And so I feel like some of you guys, it's like you don't know what to do. Some of you could even have Pluto in Libra, or you have that energy, because where your Pluto sits in your chart really reveals the thing that you want most. You really do. And I feel like what you want most in this situation, regardless of whether or not your Pluto is in Libra or conjunct your Venus, is that you want balance. You want harmony. Some of you guys, it's like you want this in paper, you want this in writing, you want a contract, you just want to follow the contract, you want to have professionals involved that can help keep everybody accountable, and you just want everything to be an equal give and take here in the situation. That's what you want. That's the big key here, is like you want this equal give and take. But what I feel like it's saying is for you to be generous here at the beginning in this situation. Even with this Three of Pentacles, it's like I do think that you want to collaborate, you want to get along, you want to have this element of friendliness. I'm just hearing it takes a village, and it does, and you're being reminded of that. So and with the Three of Pentacles, I do kind of get this third, like a mediator, you know, or a court system. You want there to be another entity involved, but you're also afraid of that because you don't really know how that's going to influence the situation or what's going to come out of it. Now, the reason I feel like this is important is because what your soul is trying to focus on is balance, right? Harmony, peace, healing after this situation, and it's trying to get you actually in this place of a pure Mars. Mars is actually a defensive energy. It's very pure. It's very auspicious, and it works best when it is sexually pure as well too, and when its intentions are pure. So I feel like it wants to get you in this place where you feel in charge, you feel in control, because you could be dealing with someone who is trying to set you off. And I'm hearing this Eminem song. They want you to lose your mind every time you're mad, because then they can make you out to look like a loose cannon. Any dispute, don't hesitate to produce handguns. So, and sometimes like more toxic people will do that, or like when you get into like a legal battle or something, people will start trying to play these games where they're trying to light your fuse and then and cause an injustice, and they do it in a quiet way, and then you will like blow up, and then you look like the crazy one. You look like the one that's not trying to work things out and be in balance, even though that's clearly what you want more than anything. So what I'm getting, and what this is interesting, is that especially if you have yet to go to court over this, or like it has yet to be mediated, and you don't have a contract to fall back on, like this person or like this group or whatever, whoever you're involved with, they could be doing little things like, you know, they're supposed to drop the kids off at 5 and they consistently drop the kids off at 5:30. You know, they're playing power games, like they're flicking you in the face a little bit. But what it's saying is like, just let it go. For now at least. And I'm almost hearing, and this feels kind of slimy even to say this to you, because it's like, it is strategy. It's like, play small. Because this person's trying to bind you with the devil. Like, and the devil is a serious binding. They want what they want, you know? They want to keep you tied. And the devil energy is the energy, it's usually represented by the upside down pentagram, which the pentagram is a symbol of the human being. And when it's upright, the head rules over the groin. It rules over that impulsiveness. So this person might think that they can try to get the better of you by inversing that and having like you be more impulsive versus being more measured. But you are going to be very measured in the future. You are. And I feel like if you can do that, and if you show that you're putting the relationships at the center, and if you are being very generous, then people are going to see that. The King of Swords is the keeper of justice, is what I like to call him, and he's showing up here in the future with this justice energy. But what I'm getting here, the Eight of Swords, see how she's bound by a tiny, sad piece of string? And she's surrounded by swords. She can get out of this anytime she wants. This to me is saying play small. And listen, I'm just saying this as a person who's been underestimated for most of her life. Like, people just look at me and they're like, oh my gosh, Jess, she's so sad and small and sweet, and she doesn't really have anything going on, and she couldn't be ferocious if her life depended on it. But I used to hate that. And then I was like, I actually am very capable and I'm very smart. And if you want to go around underestimating people based on superficial reasons, like, go right ahead. That's your downfall, not mine. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to be afraid to take my shot when I see it if you're going to treat me like that. And I feel like you should maybe let this person think that they're getting one over on you. You should keep those claws retracted, you know, for the month of May, until you can get this seen before a judge, before you can get a mediator involved, you know? And also get yourself in therapy if that's something that you can do, where you can process your emotions and where you have someone who can help you strategize with this a little bit more. Get yourself some kind of legal counsel, somebody who can help you make these decisions, you know? Somebody who knows the apps that you can get on that helps manage your communication and keeps track of everything and keeps everybody honest and on board, you know? With whatever this is. Use the resources that you have. But the gist of this is being in a place of abundance, of generosity, of healing, of harmony. And for some of you guys, there's a group of people involved in this, other people around, and they're going to know that you are trying to be fair. You know, if you demonstrate that. For some of you, it's telling you to be more generous, because more generous than you think you need to be, because it's telling you to play the long game with the Knight of Pentacles. Give this person whatever they need to go away. Play the long game, because you're showing up as someone who's incredibly capable. You're showing up as somebody who can take a hit, you can take a tower moment, and you can transform it. You can grow yourself back stronger and better than before. You're showing up as incredibly tenacious. So use your intuition about this. And if you feel like somebody's trying to get to you, they're trying to get to you. You are dealing with a devil. You are. So play small, play dead is what I'm hearing. But get like this magician. The magician is someone who has all the tools in front of him to get whatever he needs. And I feel like something could come out. Like, it's just, you know, when you're dealing with, I'm just saying this as someone I'm a survivor of a very toxic early home environment. I had to learn these things. It honestly took me a lot of therapy and like being into my 30s to recognize even what I was dealing with and why I behaved the way that I do. But you're going to know. these types of people that can be very unstable, or they're trying to get your goat. Like, if you don't buy into it, there's that phrase that's like, if you just give them enough rope. You know what I mean? People usually see those types of people for who they are if you just give them enough time. Give them what they want. Sometimes there's also another saying that's like, sometimes it's a curse to get exactly what you want. You know? I want to see, what's this King of Swords energy about? There is something here where you're going to gain clarity about what's been keeping you bound, or what somebody wants, what motivates them. There's a decision being made here in the future. For some of you guys, this is custody. And if you are being very generous here, I don't know, there's something where that's going to help. Look, the Emperor. You guys could be victorious here in some way. Because you're showing up, the Emperor is someone very stable, very balanced. And somebody who definitely doesn't deal in fantasy. I'm also hearing you catch more flies with honey than vinegar. And people are going to notice, you guys. That's the big thing. It's like, people are watching. And if someone's trying to gossip about you or something, like, when it comes down to it, like, if you don't take the bait, that's another thing. Don't take the bait. And you know what else I love up here? Queen of Pentacles. This is Uttara Ashada energy, and its Shakti power is unstoppable victory. It's also, its Yoni animal is the mongoose. It's a very independent animal. I'm telling you, you're very independent. And but the mongoose eats the snake, and the snake can be very persuasive. It's very tempting. You know, it tries to bind. The snake tries to bind. And so there is a way that you're going to overcome this if you just stay in your energy, just stay in your respect energy, and forgive someone, you know, and forgive, you know, like, let's let bygones be bygones. There's an incredibly immense power by cutting all these ties and not letting things affect you, you know. The Knight of Pentacles, it's like you're showing that you are responsible. You're being actually responsible, and you're playing some kind of long game. And I don't know why. Okay, there's this old-timey movie, and it's kind of gross, I'm not going to lie to you. But it's like this queen, right? And I don't remember which queen it is, but she has this woman that's around her. She's like her best friend, but they're also lovers. And by lovers, I mean like her friend, you know, she's the queen. There's definitely a power imbalance or whatever. And they've had this relationship for a long time. So like this woman who is like around her, she ends up getting a lot of power, and people know that they can gain the queen's favor by like being with her. But then who is this? I think it was Kristen Dunst. No, I don't know. But there's this sweet young girl, and she is like very ambitious, right? And she wants to be in that position that the other woman is in. So she like slowly over time, she's very cunning and she's very conniving. And she eventually like does seduce the queen. She gets the queen's favor, and they start having like this relationship. And that woman who was in that position, right? She pretends that they're having some kind of competition, you know, like it's very subtle, and she acts bothered by it and everything. Anyways, fast forward the end of the movie, and this is a spoiler alert if you want to watch this movie, but at the end of the movie, it kind of comes out that it was this elaborate game. It was like this chess game, and the woman that wanted that position, you know, she gets it, she wins out, and she thinks she won. She got exactly what she wanted. Right? But it was a curse, because actually the other woman didn't want that position. She made her think that she did, so that she'd keep fighting for it, and that it was believable, and so that she could get away, because the queen was never going to let her get away. And she knew it. Not unless she chose for her to go. She chose something better, and she did. So she got away scot-free, and she went to another country or something. And then she made it very clear. It was like very clear at the end of the movie that woman like played herself. She extended all this energy to try and like win some kind of weird power game. She won, but she actually lost. There's the energy of that here in this pile, where it's like, okay, like let this person think that they're getting whatever it is that they want, and you get what you want. Which seems to just be balance and harmony, pile number 3. Yeah. Yeah, this is about working together. Maybe there has been a third party situation or some kind of betrayal. And you could have people pointing their fingers at this person, but it's just saying, you know, leave it, walk away. And people are going to be like, no, that person wasn't trying to play you. They weren't trying to fool you, because they could have. But they just walked away. People are going to notice. It's just, okay, so long story short, pile number 3, it's like move towards harmony. Move towards harmony. That is your victory. People are going to notice. So, all right, let's get the energy to move towards and the energy to move away from. Oh, love it. Love it. Okay, don't, you know, this pleasure energy, it's like something that's going to feel really good in the moment, but then it's going to be over fast and it's going to just leave you feeling depleted, right? That's the trap. That's the pleasure trap. Move away from that. Don't give in to your lower natures, your temptations, your desires, and be the bigger person here with Odin. And seek out some kind of guidance, you guys. Yes, so that you can have some kind of sense of renewal. Some of you guys, there's a holy person that's destined for you, Osiris. He has a twin called Set, and you see all kind of twins example in mythology, and it's like you usually have the one who's like all about peace and harmony, the other one's about chaos. Set rules over chaos, and his wife tries to seduce Osiris. So you could be dealing with a situation that feels a little bit like you're dealing with a wife of Set, and you got tricked into it because she pretends to be Isis, and that's how she gets him involved. Your Isis is coming. There's going to be someone here that's going to help you sing your heart back to life, who's very altruistic. Yeah. So just know that and keep your eye on that, like that goal of you are going to have a renewal. You are going to build yourself back up here. Even if, you know, an Isis retrieves Osiris's pieces. So if you feel like you're getting scattered to the wind, like you are going to have, even if it's not a person, you're going to have a force that comes into your life and helps you pick up the pieces and reinvent yourself. And have a little bit of self-esteem, like while you're doing it. Don't let this person take your self-esteem. And I feel like your self-esteem is even going to grow whenever you're like, no, I really am making the best decision for me, for my family, for this community, for my job, by focusing on harmony and relationships. Because I feel like you have more up your sleeve. Retract those claws, know they're there, but for the month of May, it just feels like you don't need to use them. Like it'll actually work out better for you if you don't. So anyways, that's what I have for you guys. Pile number 3. That was kind of a wild ride, but I hope that was helpful. I know it was really specific. But anyways, that's what I have for you guys. Thank you so much. And if that resonated, please like, comment, and subscribe. Bye guys.